Well, one of my interests that I don't talk about a lot is I'm a big wrestling fan. Yeah, the sport where big sweaty men in colorful tights grab on, get dangerously close to each other's private areas, and slam each other into the mat and say the meanest things to each other, but at the end of the day, go backstage and hug it out because they're best friends. Yeah, I love that stuff. And it's really not something I've talked about much because, hey, this is an animation channel, and, well, just anything I feel like talking about. So I never really felt the need to talk about it much. One of the topics that was a victim of my innermost pent-up teenage hormone rage was the WWE itself, the biggest wrestling company in America, and probably the whole world. And that was mostly because I was starting to get into more other wrestling companies at the time, like WCW and ECW and TNA and Ring of Honor and all those. So, of course, when I discovered the edgy alternatives, I was like, well, screw this PG, kid-friendly bullcrap. But keep in mind, this was 2009 through 2012. Not the best period for WWE. Raw had celebrity guest host. Monday Night Raw had celebrity guest hosts. Cheech and Chong getting high off of Lucky Charms. Faith Hill and Tim McGraw hosting a bull riding contest. And most insulting of all, NASCAR drivers who didn't even know Kofi Kingston's name. As the years went on, and I personally boycotted WWE, I found out that I was missing out on a lot of stuff. John Cena was starting to take a more part-time role and not shoving himself in the main event. Some indie wrestlers that I fell in love with from Ring of Honor and TNA and other companies were starting to join the company and actually getting pushes that they deserved. And the nail on the coffin that inspired me to get into it more, AJ Styles, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, probably my current favorite wrestler, finally, after so many years, got into a WWE ring and became a full-time employee of the company. So it was these factors that contributed to me finally wanting to try the company out again. And I even went to go see a live show last year when it came to my hometown of Springfield, Illinois. And I actually had a good time. I got to see a lot of new faces that I instantly fell in love with. And it inspired me to renew my WWE Network subscription and actually keep up with a lot of the current stuff. Because, truth be told, I did get the WWE Network like earlier last year when I got my Blu-ray player, but it was mostly to watch the old stuff like the Attitude Era and stuff like that. But I soon got rid of it when I went through a stressful time where I felt like I didn't have enough time to watch anything and have fun. But seeing it live last year inspired me to get back into it, and I was even so hyped that I watched that me and my close friend are currently watching the Royal Rumble. It's like, we didn't make it all the way through because it's 5 hours long. When the hell did WWE pay-per-views become 5 hours long? But we're slowly making our way through it. He's invested and I'm invested too. So, yeah, I honestly think that WWE is great again. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have been as harsh on it because, hey, it's the company that got me into wrestling. And I'm sure that's the same story for a lot of people. It's probably the first wrestling we ever saw and it inspired us to become fans and go from there and discover our own companies we like and wrestlers we like. So I can't hate it for that. Yes, is it perfect? Of course not. There have been some problems over the years, and there's still some problems now. But I think they're taking the measures needed to improve the company, and I'm all for that. Stuff I do like that they're doing now, they're starting to allow young guys to have their chance to shine. Like I said, John Cena's taking more of a part-time role, and he's going the Rock route and going Hollywood. Good for him. I don't hate him as much as I used to. He's grown on me. I know he was the fun thing to hate back then because you can't wrestle and stuff like that, but it took a lot of internet memes and the facts reading up on him that he's such a nice guy and does a lot of charity work. It's like, I can't hate him for that. I'm sorry. I can't hate nice guys, especially when they don't even mean to do harm or anything and be hated. He's alright by me. Just don't bury AJ Styles or I'll cut you. But anyway, they're starting to focus more on young guys and give other talent a chance to shine, which I like. Vince used to have this nepotism mentality where if you got over somewhere else, then you're fresh meat for his company and his stuff. But that's starting to change now. Young guys now are coming in and they're actually being thrust in the main event. In just the 3 years he's been there, AJ Styles is already a 2-time WWE champion, and hopefully he's not done yet. Look at what happened when they brought other people over. Jamie Noble was a former Ring of Honor champion. He was jobbed to a friggin' midget. So they are being a little more fair. Does everybody get a fair shot? No, but at least everybody's starting to get treated with respect, which I'm all for. The independent scene doesn't have the opportunity and the resources to pay the young guys and the new talent as they should be, but when they make that big jump over to the big giant up in Stamford, Connecticut, they have a chance to earn what their talent gives them. Hats up to the young guys. Is some of the old guys still around? Yeah, Brock Lesnar, Triple H, yeah, a lot of them. But it's starting to look like that the new blood is coming through, and I really give WWE props for that. Another thing I like is women are finally being treated with respect in the company. I know, right? Took them long enough. TNA had them beat by, I don't know, 11 years. But better late than never. And they actually started this around, was it like 2016 or something like that, when the women started to become more respectful? I mean, now they have a 30-woman battle royal on top of the 30-man battle royal. So, yeah. And they even recently they had a all-women pay-per-view called Evolution. So, hell yeah. And not only are women being treated with more respect, they're actually getting women with wrestling abilities. They're not, it's like, while still being attractive, not only do they look good, but they got the talent to show and prove that they can hang with the big boys. So the feminist in me is happy that women are getting more respect and getting their times to shine, but the pervert in me is enjoying the eye candy as well. It's a win-win situation. It's so easy for me to like them because even though I haven't been keeping up a lot recently due to time and whatnot, I do like the fact that I can just see them wrestle or see them come out, instantly know what their character is, and instantly like them. Like I remember when Naomi came out at the live event that I went to, and I instantly fell in love with her. I loved her gimmick, I loved her athleticism, and yeah, the talent they get just has that kind of power on you. Yeah, there's a lot of people that I like nowadays. It's like I mentioned AJ Styles. I also love the New Day, Naomi I mentioned, and I don't watch Raw much, but I really like Sasha Banks. I would love to watch Raw just to see her. She's got a pretty cool gimmick. Finn Balor, I really like him. Becky Lynch, she's pretty cool. Asuka, she's cute and badass and and I love her theme song. Bobby Roode, I know him from TNA. So yeah, there's a lot of people I really like. I think it's doing them a disservice not to support the company they're in and not support them, because I want WWE to keep doing this and bringing in other talent to help make the product more entertaining. I'm not to the point where I want to watch every episode of Raw and SmackDown, and I'll get to that later, but for the time being, I'm really happy with the direction the company's taken, and I hope they don't screw it up. Please don't screw this up, guys. You're finally getting your act together. You saw what the independents were doing, you saw what all the other companies are doing, and you're starting to realize what people like. So, for the love of the wrestling gods, don't blow it. That being said, there is still some problems I do have with the company. They're not as bad as they were, but I do have some problems that I think I want to get off my chest. For one thing, there is just way too much content to watch. The WWE puts on so much content every week. Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, and in NXT. You think that's enough? I remember when it was bad when it was Raw, SmackDown, and ECW all running at once. How much time do you think we have, WWE? I have a full-time job, I do other stuff, I hang with friends. I can't dedicate all my time to you. And even still, I have other wrestling companies I watch. I watch Ring of Honor, I watch Lucha Underground. I watch that kind of stuff. I can't do it, man. I do at least try to watch every pay-per-view. At least I can always count on the pay-per-views to be entertaining. But when I tried to watch the show on a weekly basis, I tried to watch SmackDown on a weekly basis because that was always my favorite show. I love the aesthetic of it better. I don't know why. The blue and white just is more pleasing to my eyes. And not to mention, SmackDown is only 2 hours while Raw is 3 hours. Why? What makes Raw so special? Does it need to be 3 hours? Especially when most of it is talking and talking and talking. Like literally, I change the channel when there's a promo going on because I don't want to hear that crap. I just want to see the action. I turn it back. Oh my God, they're still talking. And then I turn it back. I miss a match, and there's another person talking. It's like, knock this crap off, man. I get it. Promos enhance storylines. They get us to see what wrestlers' gimmicks are and what their story is and why feuds develop. But do you have to dedicate each episode of Raw to opening up with a 20-minute Stephanie McMahon and Triple H promo? I remember that was one of my big promos that caused me to stop watching back then because it felt like it was the same thing over and over again. I haven't watched enough of it recently to see if they made any changes, but I do know that last month Raw had some of the lowest ratings ever, and they said they were going to address it. Well, I hope that's one of them. You're a wrestling show. Have some wrestling. Start out, draw us in with some action. Don't start off with two 40-year-olds talking about, oh, we run everything, we're the authority, and blah, blah, blah. Nobody wants to see that crap. And another problem I have is they really need to change the format of the WWE network. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I love being able to watch all these old episodes of Raw, SmackDown, and especially WCW pay-per-views, ECW pay-per-views. It's got a lot of stuff on it. So, it's definitely a gift, and it definitely beats the days where I had to try to track down old episodes on YouTube and hope to goodness they were in decent quality or they weren't copyrighted and removed. So, huge step up there. That being said, it is a pain in the ass whenever I try to search for an old episode of Raw. You click on Raw, and it's always starts out with the most recent year. And then you gotta one by one scroll through every year, just click on it, wait for it to load, and then click on it again just to get to the year you want. It takes forever. Why can't they just make it like Netflix or Hulu where you can scroll to the season you want and then click on the episode you want, and it's simple as 1, 2, 3. It is quite a hassle just to look up old episodes. I find myself using the watch list setting and saying I add this episode to my watch list just so I can go to my watch list and go back to where I left off. And another weird thing, I noticed that whenever I try to watch old episodes, it'll say continue watching for episodes of Nitro or Raw or SmackDown that I finished like months earlier, and I can't get them to disappear. I'm like, okay, yet whenever I'm trying to keep up with other episodes I watch, like, okay, I want to remember where I left off, so remember this. It doesn't remember it, then I gotta go find the episode again and go back to the part I left off on. What the hell? What sense does that make? And I'm making AJ Styles a little thick here. I don't mind, whatever. He's a Georgia boy. He's probably eaten a lot of peaches in his life. Oh god, what did I just say? Anyway, so yeah, that's one problem I have with the network, and if they update it and make it easier to browse and more user-friendly, then that would be a huge improvement in my part. That being said, I still love it. All that content and everything, but that is just something I think they can improve on. But yeah, other than those glaring problems, I think WWE is a product that's worth watching now. Does it still have some issues? Of course, no company is perfect. But I think they're on the right track to becoming the dominant form of wrestling entertainment again. And they're definitely taking the right steps to get people to watch. The Attitude Era is gone, the new generation is gone, the PG era is gone, hopefully. So they're definitely starting to start a new era where the young guys in wrestling, where the young guys are getting their chance to shine. Wrestling is taking the forefront, not just entertainment, which I'm all for. I'm looking forward to seeing more WWE stuff as the year goes on. And when SmackDown comes to the Fox network later this year, I'll definitely be checking that out, just to see what they do with it. Are you glad I finally am starting to be a little more optimistic and not say stuff like, I hope this company fails and everything? I'm kind of glad it didn't fail. Like I said, WWE Network is great. I'm glad a lot of wrestlers I've followed for years are getting their time to shine on the big stage. Oh, shoot. Sorry, before I go, I just remembered another thing WWE did that I don't agree with. The whole making a deal with Saudi Arabia thing, holding the Crown Jewel pay-per-view after they found out that American journalist was killed by the Prince of Saudi Arabia. Yeah, dick move. Dick move. Seriously, dick move. But I can play devil's advocate and say from a business standpoint it wouldn't have been the best idea to put all that effort into getting that pay-per-view set up only to back out because of that. I can understand that, and at least some wrestlers refused to participate in the event because they didn't want to support that. So good on them. I'm sure WWE, they learned their lesson, and hopefully they're not going to do any more Saudi Arabia pay-per-views because, yeah. And also, it's kind of hypocritical that they're making all these steps to have women in wrestling, or like they started to give women more of their opportunities and everything, yet they refuse to let women participate in the Saudi Arabia pay-per-views because women don't have a lot of rights over in Saudi Arabia. Dick move. Dick move! But what can you do? Hopefully they don't go ahead and do any more Saudi Arabia pay-per-views, but if they do, let the women perform. Let women show them that women deserve equal rights in Saudi Arabia, because yeah, why should we as a country put up with that? We shouldn't. So yeah, you guys like wrestling? Who are some of your favorite wrestlers? What wrestling do you guys watch? WWE, Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground? Anything else I'm missing on that you think I might like? Let me know in those comments below. As always, stay loony, my toonies. Strength. Ain't nobody man enough to feel the pain.